We're only a couple of days into the NHL offseason, and we've already seen a bit of player movement, so we have some things to talk about, including a couple of trades and one free agent signing. Although the signing can't technically become official until July 1st, there is a verbal agreement in place. We know the details of the contract, and we know where one of the bigger name UFAs are going to be playing next season. Let's start off with the trades, though. First up, the Nashville Predators have acquired centerman Erik Haula from the New Jersey Devils in exchange for prospect Jeremy Hansel and a 2025 fourth-round pick. I'll be honest, this trade surprised me a little bit considering how their season went. I really didn't think Nashville would be a team looking to go out and trade picks and prospects for veterans on expiring deals. But at the end of the day, this really isn't anything too egregious. Jeremy Hansel, at this point, I would definitely say is a long shot to ever get a look at the NHL level, and the chances of a fourth-round draft pick turning into an NHL regular are pretty slim as well. So they really didn't give up much, and at 34 years old, Haula is still a decent bottom six center. He's good in the face-off dot, strong defensively, a good penalty killer. I don't really think this is a move that's going to move the needle all that much for Nashville, but if their goal is to be a lot more competitive next season, they definitely needed to get a lot stronger down the middle, and they had some center depth here by acquiring Haula. And if they're bad again, Haula is heading into the final year of his deal next season, so he's somebody Nashville could probably easily flip around the trade deadline next season. And for the New Jersey Devils, this trade honestly just screams cap dump. There was no salary retention whatsoever, so New Jersey clears up $3.15 million in cap space by making this move, which should allow them to be a bit more aggressive in free agency. They're definitely a team that I think is going to be looking to add at the center position, maybe even more so now after moving on from Erik Haula. Moving on now to the next trade, the Seattle Kraken have acquired Mason Marchman in exchange for a 2026 third-round pick and a 2025 fourth-round pick. And similar to what I said about the Nashville Predators, considering how Seattle's season went and the fact that they sold off guys like Gord and Bjorkstrand at the deadline, I really didn't expect them to be a team that goes out there and trades away picks for veterans on expiring deals. But even with that being said, I actually still really like this move for Seattle, considering the fact that they only gave up a third and a fourth round pick. Marchman is coming off of back-to-back 22-goal seasons with the Stars. He's a big body, likes to throw his weight around, should be a really solid addition to Seattle's middle six, and even if they're bad again next season, he's definitely somebody that I think they could flip and get a much better return for around the deadline next season than what they gave up for him. Depending on the kind of season he has for Seattle, and if the Kraken are willing to retain some salary, I think there's an outside chance that they could end up getting a first-round pick for him next season. So a pretty solid move here by the Kraken in my opinion, and for the Stars, this was obviously nothing more than a pure cap dump. I'm sure there's some Stars fans out there that are a bit underwhelmed with the return for Mason Marchman, but at the end of the day, every single GM in the NHL knew that Dallas desperately needed to clear up some cap space, so they really didn't have any leverage whatsoever. And after this trade went down, Jeff Merrick tweeted out an important note about the Marchman Seattle deal. GM Jim Nill sent Marchman to another no-state tax team. You don't want the rep of sending a player somewhere they don't want to go after they take less to play for you. So it definitely sounds like Jim Nill wanted to do right by Mason Marchman, which could definitely have played a factor in the return being a little bit underwhelming. Maybe he had some better offers from different teams, but Marchman didn't want to go to those teams. At the end of the day, though, this was a necessary move to make for Dallas. After extending Matt Duchene, they literally had no cap space whatsoever. By making this trade, they clear up $4.5 million, so they have a bit more breathing room now, but I doubt they're done, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Dallas make an additional move or two over the next week or so to try and clear up some more cap space. Guys like Ilya Lyubushkin and Matt Duchene are definitely candidates to be moved if Dallas can find a team to take them. So those are my thoughts on the couple of trades that took place over the last few days. Let's now shift focus and talk about the free agent signing that happened today. Again, this isn't technically official until July 1st, but we know that Jonathan Toews will be signing with the Winnipeg Jets, and not only do we know where he's going to be signing, we actually have a full breakdown of the contract that he will be signing, and I'll be honest, he's getting a bit more than I thought he was going to get, considering the fact that he hasn't played in the NHL in over 2 years. So the contract has a base salary of $2 million, but he can earn a lot more than that through bonuses. This reminds me of the contract that Patrick Kane signed with the Red Wings last summer. I think it is a pretty safe bet to assume that Jonathan Toews is going to earn the majority of these bonuses. It'll be $5.25 million total if he plays in 60 games and the Jets make the playoffs, and then obviously it can be more than that if the Jets win playoff rounds and Toews plays in 50% of the games. So even though this contract could end up being a lot pricier than I expected, I still really like this signing for Winnipeg. I'm definitely not expecting him to come in and fill Winnipeg's need for a number 2 center, but even if he can just be 80% 100% of the Jonathan Toews that we saw in the last few seasons he played in the NHL, he should be a solid addition to their bottom six, especially with Adam Lowry out. I imagine he's still going to be an elite faceoff guy. He has been pretty much throughout his entire career. He's somebody who knows what it takes to win, as he obviously won multiple Stanley Cups with the Blackhawks. I imagine he's going to provide a positive influence on that locker room. And at the end of the day, Winnipeg is a team that struggles to land big free agents, so if overpaying a little bit for Jonathan Toews is what it took to make him decide to come to Winnipeg, as opposed to a divisional rival like the Avalanche, which is the other team that it was rumored Jonathan Toews was considering, then so be it. And I think a lot of Jets fans would agree with that overpaying a bit for Jonathan Toews is better than not getting him at all and him signing with a divisional rival. So those are my thoughts on some of the player movement that we have seen take place over the last few days. I'm expecting a lot more trades to happen over the next week or so as we get closer and closer to the NHL draft. So if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, because I'll be making videos just like this all summer long on all the deals that happen. If you made it all this way to the end of the video and you ended up enjoying yourself, please remember to leave a like. It's the best way to let me know that you enjoyed, and it does help with the videos a ton, and I will talk to you all again soon.